welcome to the third season of Feed the Geeks. We are
Hello,
back
hello.
after what would you call it? Hiatus? More of like
Yeah,
a break.
a mental health break.
Yes. Okay. Usually January and February are dump months, so we used the break to like catch up on all the pop culture that we were too busy to catch up on. So
hmm
we are your hosts. Ako si Bayani.
And I'm 30. And did we ever catch up on anything? Did we? Are we still
What
up
was
in the news?
what was the last thing we talked about?
I
like
forgot. I think we were talking a lot about Knives Out with The Last of Us. I think that
mm-hmm.
those were like the shows that we're actually looking forward to. And then now
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like it's like 2 months or 3 months now, we can finally
Mm-hmm.
talk about them.
Yeah. And kanang I guess we don't have to cover everything that happened kanang since January, but the biggest thing that like I want to talk about with you is The Last of Us on HBO. And um you do you want to talk about Suzume no Tojimari?
Yeah, we can talk about it later. There's a lot of things that we missed and
Yeah.
big topics, right? A lot of shakedowns in the industry that we weren't expecting. A lot of deaths, a lot of cancellation of shows, a lot
Oh
of
man.
uh, games that are coming back. A lot of shit.
Oh yeah. It's like daghan kayong mga whatever happened to DC, and then like um sa na, si James Gunn is taking over, which I'm kind of like what's ako marag hot and cold ko about it. Wait, let me close the door.
There's a cat on
Yeah,
your.
I know. Like the house is full of horny cats right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's heating season right now, man. Like
Like
even my dog, even the dogs in our place are like scrambling to find the nearest dog pussy, whatever that you call that.
like I had some kind of bitch like joke, maybe bitch in heat. I don't know. Sige lang.
Uh, all
Any
right. We need to be careful right now, Bianin, because people might cancel us now.
Oh
After
yeah.
I saw bodies, like I get the feeling, right? Like, do people hate listen to our podcast? Probably not. But
Like,
if you
no
are
one.
someone who hate listens to our podcast, you can just hate listen to us. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what we need to do is just outrage people. Kay, daghan kaya tong views sa katong Mamamoo video na to. Kay, I think because we were just trashing on like K-pop in general, and then like I think a lot of people were like, "Look at what these two fat guys are saying." And I'm like, "Okay, that's what they want,
I'm
huh?"
pretty sure they haven't seen what we look like though, but they could probably assume that we're two fat guys or I don't know.
We
Nobody
don't
makes a
know.
podcast about a pop culture thing or
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like if we were
Yeah.
attractive people, we would probably have TikToks, and then we would just be like,
Yeah.
dancing at the video all the time, and
No,
then
probably I would if we were like two attractive people, we would be like some sigma male mindset things. We're gonna be the Andrew Tate of the podcast community, and then this is what you do when you get some hoes. This
see,
is what you do.
it's oh man, the guy's so unhinged, na crazy jud na siya. Like I only knew about Andrew Tate after he got jailed, but like there are
Yeah,
videos of him coming out na nadyo siya yung mga kanang cringe takes. Like, would you rather
yeah,
have sex with a tranny that's 9 or like a woman that's a 1? And then that like it's a like really odd kayo tong video that like very gross kayo siya nga tao, like just the way he talks. And
yeah. He's unhinged as hell, man, and I'm glad that he's on jail.
uh-huh.
All thanks to everyone's favorite sweetheart, Greta Thunberg.
Katawa. He got doxxed
That's the
because nag-order siya
yeah.
pizza box.
That's the best docs on Twitter so far, and is owned by I don't know 16-year-old kid. I don't know how old Greta is.
And then like mas ganahan pa ko mo follow ni ano ba katong my recent sexual identity crisis again, si Finster ba na yung pangan sa
Oh
Twitch?
no!
Dude,
Oh
he's so
no!
cute.
Oh no, yeah, I've heard about that. I think I've seen a post, yeah, and then I'm like, whoa, she kind of bad
Yeah.
though, and
Nag-ano siya?
I'm like,
Nag,
okay, okay, I get it.
nag-trending siya because he had like a photo shoot with Belle Delphine.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw what you liked on Twitter. By the
Oh
way.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, Murag, 30, please forgive me, but I need to save this
Mhm.
kanang power statue na kanang naka-wedgie siya so that I can look at it later.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, and TikTok. I mean, Twitter has bookmarks now, so
Oh,
you can
damn.
see if like how many bookmark that thing is. And I'm like, every time I see a hot girl post or so I always check how many bookmarks does it
Ganda.
have, and it, and after and after that one, like when we can finally see the bookmark sections, there's a Twitter page called weird bookmarks, and it's like it contains all the weird posts out there.
Can people figure out what you bookmarked, or are those just for me lang?
I think it's for you. It's private.
Okay.
But you can just see the numbers behind
Yeah.
how many that post got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kay, ano ba ya, like, when I want to follow an NSFW artist, like, I have to send, like, a link of the post to Tiny, and I'll be like, can you save this? Like, I'm just saving this so I can come back to it later. But I don't want to like it so people will know what I like in public. So, inga naming duha with each other's, like, kanang Twitter chat. Like, we just link things that we think are risky to follow.
Hmm. Like horny on mains. I'm glad that I'm not that kind of. I sometimes like stuff that are provocative, but I don't do the nude parts. I don't do.
Yeah.
We're not self-righteous people here. We're geeks. We're nerds.
Yeah, it's like,
And we
yeah,
missed out
I
on a
think
lot.
the thing about us is, like, we're not really kanang, we're very cynical about the place of geeks in culture. Like, kay Bosad ta na, ano sila, like, mga trash maning mga tao usahay yung mga geeks. Like, capable of great
Yeah.
good and great evil kayo ang kaning,
Yeah.
kaning a branch of people.
There is no middle ground, and especially
Oh,
the
yeah.
gamers,
Yeah,
the
I was
worst
like,
of them
wala-
all. Yeah.
Those gamers are like, naa sila ang pinaka-weird because they have this weird sense of community, but then naasad sila superiority complex, and then they hate the new things that come out, and then people like to like pander to them, nahatagan sila mga, oh, this woke thing is bad, and then people will be like, wow, woke, I hate it.
Yeah. I swear right now, if anyone says the word woke to my face, I cannot
Yeah,
take them
and-
seriously anymore. Like, that's so
Yeah.
pre-pandemic
And ano na sila, like,
bullshit.
they don't know how
and
to explain woke anymore. Like, if you ask those people, it was like, oh, this woke culture, they hate critical race theory. And then people are like, can you explain to me what woke means? And they're like, "Yeah, woke, man, woke." And then, like, dili sila ka explain. It's like,
Go
some
woke,
people
go
say
broke.
na murag, woke has kind of become their new N-word. Na murag, they just slap woke on it, and then they're like, okay, that's what you mean by this. Na, oh, this is your new slur na ang kaning woke na word. And they don't really know where it comes from or what it means.
Yeah, woke and the same impact with like agenda. Like I can't fucking stand those words. Like whenever I hear that, and it's also timely right now that since we're gonna talk about The Last of Us,
Yes.
the discourse has returned.
Yes. Were you,
And then
ano,
it's-
mag Last of Us na to?
Yeah.
Like, were you following every week, Jude, sa Last of Us? Did you?
Yeah, I did,
You
I
played
did.
all the games, na?
Yeah, I did play the games except for the remake.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, na
But I did play the first
naman
game
kay
and the
PS5
second
ka
game.
ha, you don't wanna, you don't wanna re-experience the 2013 masterpiece.
I want to experience it again. Yeah, but the wounds are still fresh, man, and then I don't wanna, feel it again. Like I don't wanna put myself in that depressing game that I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too depressing to play.
I was like, after the first season ended, I was like, you know what, maybe I should play Last of Us 2 again. Like, murag, I kind of, like, I haven't played Last of Us Part 2 since I went through one run through, because it's kind of very emotional na,
It
game.
is.
But, like, after Last of Us the series, I'm like, maybe it's worth like checking out Ellie and Dina again because I really like the characters, SFM, but
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah. Whoa. But let's not talk about part two. How about we talk about the show and what makes it so good? Like, why does everybody love it? Is it better than the games, or are they like a good complement to each other?
they're ano ba eh, like murag, they're a good complement to each other and like there are pros and cons in both sides. Like I can say, na murag, there are things that I like
Mm-hmm.
in the series that are like, oh, kapoy man is a game way, and there are things in the game that I think like mas exciting as compared to the one you see in the series. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially with the less focus on the clicker thing, so we don't see a lot of clickers
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
show because if everyone is listening right now, The Last of Us is not a zombie story. It's about a story about humanity in a world with
Yeah,
zombies.
yeah. And ano siya, like, it would make sense, man. Like, I wasn't looking for any clickers or I wasn't looking for that much infected in the world. Okay, when I played The Last of Us, I realized, man, that the real villains of the movie or of the game are kind of just people or said. Na the infected is just
Yeah,
like one element lang that makes it otherworldly.
yeah. And usually in a video game sense, they would become like
Uh-huh.
fodder to your story. They become something that you have to overcome, like video game wise. So it's great that they're not putting more focus on that in the show.
Yeah.
But it's still great if they like
Yeah.
put more. Like I was expecting a lot of zombies maybe on the snow, the on the winter part. Maybe that could
Yeah,
have
I
been
wanted.
great.
Yeah,
But I
I
guess I
kind of wanted
understand.
to see like mga. The interesting thing I thought about Walking Dead was that you kind of see variations of infected people based on where they get infected. So like, they're like snow zombies, and then they're water zombies, mga ingani, and then their bodies deteriorate based on where they
Oh,
die.
oh
Yeah.
man, I forgot everything about The
Yeah,
Walking
I
Dead
was
now.
like, I'm based on the
Yeah,
comics what I know in the comics, and
yeah.
when was the last
Oh,
time you played Last of Us, Part One?
oh, I did play part one. Just recently,
Uh
months
huh.
ago maybe. But I stopped playing it because I remember that I have to collect all the Firefly
Uh,
pendants. I have to collect all the notes. I have to craft shit, and I'm like, oh no, no wonder I took time playing this game. So it's weird, like I always want to go for the 100% collectibles run. So I have to keep my phone on at
oh
all
my
times, and
god.
then like if I go here, okay, so in this corner
Ah
there's a thingy
god. I
here
hate
and
doing that.
whatever.
Like I think I did that mga 3 times for Arkham, kanang Batman. And it's only usually like I didn't seek something out. It's kind of like na timing lang ko na ako dito sa Riddler trophy and I'm like, how the fuck do you solve this? And then tsaka na ako mag-phone and then it's like the entire time I'm like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And then like I don't know. And then I solve it and I'm like, ah
Yeah.
fuck, I'm never doing that again. Like let's go back to the main mission na lang kay gabi ka like waste of time. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad habit, Nako, and I can't get
Yeah,
out of
like
that
I
one.
guess what I like about the series is like, oh, okay, Joel doesn't loot as much as he needs to. Like, um, left over in a reflex that was the Last of Us is like whenever a cutscene is like done, I'm immediately just scouring the entire thing so I can find like what scissors or like unsa na kanang mga supplies ayana. But Joel
Yeah,
and Ellie.
bandages.
Yeah, Joel and Ellie barely do that in the show. I'm just like, uy, Ellie, pag
Yeah.
ano sa press triangle sa or kanang di ka mo loot nila or ano, di mo maghimog shiv or something like that. I thought that they like
Yeah.
Joel would use a shiv at some point.
There are a severe lack of shivs in the show,
Yeah.
and then they're not even unlocking doors using shivs, and like I spent hours finding that shiv and then uh unlocking that door just to get like pieces and gear pieces and shit.
Uh huh.
So it's not in the show, but it's all good because the show is really really good. Like it's well written.
Yeah.
It it respects the material so much,
Yeah.
and the cast is great. Like that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, every like if you like look at The Last of Us from like kind of from afar, each character that you meet is kind of just supposed to mirror Ellie and Joel. So like, si Bill is supposed to be Joel alone, and then afterwards you meet Sam and Henry, and then that's like murag, that's what happens if like whatever happens to Henry is what would happen to Joel if kanang like he loses another daughter or something, and then you move forward,
Yeah,
and then it's like si sana si David na, and then he's like he has a whole different dynamic na.
like these characters, these like and the people they meet along the road are like they mirror Joel and
Yeah,
Ellie's
yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a lot of for non-gamers. It's a very big uh, morality discussion when we're dealing with those kinds of things, because there's nothing you can do about people stuck in a situation like that,
uh-huh.
and The Last of Us, the show, actually captured the emotions well. Everything from the big set pieces to the big deaths of our favorite
Yeah.
characters.
Did you?
I appreciate looking at like non-gamer reactions on
Yeah.
it, because there are I can feel the pain, I can feel the frustrations that we had when we were playing it for the first time like
Yeah.
years
It's
ago.
like ano ba, like it's so crazy how the changes are kind of at some point they're big changes, but ano siya, like they don't feel out of like left field when it comes to the adaptation. Like siguro the biggest change jud from the story is Nick Offerman's story, kind of what happens to Bill, because like I was surprised, but like I played the game, but the surprise pa ko sa ending where Bill like he decides to kill himself na lang sad so that he can be together with Sam. Oh no, not Sam. What's his name?
Mhm.
Frank.
Uh,
Sorry.
I forgot the
I'm
name,
sorry. I
Frank.
have a
Yeah.
runny nose
But
right now.
but it's great, right, to see a different perspective to the people we met in the game that we never got to like know
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it and then we can still think that yeah, I can see that this is
Yeah.
still in the
The shock
game.
baka
Yeah. But I separate the cuz like after I finish the show in the game, I separate them into two
uh-huh.
different things. Like they like what we mentioned before, it complements each other. So it's the same thing with one of our like Evangelion discussions from the movies, and yeah, like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
fits well. Like you can watch this medium and then get
Uh-huh.
insight out of it, and then the game, which has a
Uh-huh.
lot of things, but you don't. There's a lot of things lacking. So I consider them as like it's a complete
Yeah.
experience
Yeah,
if you
for
experience
example,
both.
it's like for example the Bill episode like the entire time there's a shadow over it because you know how Bill is like in the game where he's like he's alone lang and then he's like really cranky and then like he's like away ni Ellie like where's like children na magbicker and then like the entire episode you're watching that and you feel sad because you know that Bill is gonna end up alone, but like at the end of it Bill like decides to kill himself and I'm like what I never expected that no murag. And then in the end like Joel and Ellie still get what they need from Bill, so like oh okay, so narratively it still works, like they got their car, but kada like we got like a different new emotional story rasad gihapon about like ano, and it's also still mirroring like a possible relationship between Joel and someone else. So it's like, oh, this is good. Na ano, this is a good adaptation.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's something that I really appreciate about the show, because Cuckman is the man behind, you know, production
Yeah.
and everything else. So he's around when there's
Oh yeah,
writing,
but
directing, and Craig Mazin is a
yeah,
guy who
ano
listens.
siya,
So I
yeah,
respect them
like
both.
si Craig Mazin was a really big fan of the game. So pag abot niya ni Neil Druckmann, he actually had him involved in making the series. So ano sila, collaborators or dyan silang duha. And then, if you listen to their podcast, they're kind of like
Yeah.
mga geeky best friends who are like, what if we made the story like this? And then, see, Neil Druckmann would be like, you fucking bastard. I wish I thought of that. Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah. I really love what HBO is doing with their post episode podcasts, right? Like I think they do it a lot
Oh,
with their
yeah.
big shows now, especially
House
with
of the
Watchmen,
Dragon.
with Chernobyl. Yeah, and it gives more insights to the behind the scenes of every
And
episode.
you can't, ano ba eh, like,
I really appreciate
it
what
can
they do with that.
the after show podcast only works if weekly ang release nila. Kay if you did that na kanang one big chunk na ano na one episode and then after show then one episode like with Netflix, they tried to do it with Stranger Things. It was so odd. Kay why do I need to watch the after show every after episode when I would rather just go to the next episode of the show? So like yeah, so with HBO, it's
Yeah.
like you get one episode and then it's like kanang nara kay kanang dessert na okay, you get the after show na lang. So you get to like immerse yourself more without like the ano without more of the show. So you have to wait. And like yeah.
HBO has understood their audience now that they're not the ADHD people who wants all the episodes in one go. It's like I think their audience is like the people who watch the episode, feel the episode, immerse themselves, and talk
they'll,
about
like,
it for a
they'll
week.
Twitter about it like
And
right
they-
afterwards.
Yes. So every big episode of House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, they know that the audience is gonna talk about it for an entire week, and then memes are gonna. I think that's something that should benefit Netflix, right? But
Yeah.
I'm not sure
man?
anymore. Like, I think Netflix has their
Weird, man.
own
It's like,
gimmicks and.
For example, did you watch Wednesday? Were we able to talk about Wednesday? No.
No.
Like I
We
yeah,
did talk
I was
about
like
Wednesday.
when I watched Wednesday, it's kind of like I was only like looking at the tweets after I finished the show now because I didn't want to get spoiled. And then like siguro I was just looking at Wednesday tweets for like a week. So dili siya murag for months The Last of Us was like engaging me kay tungod like weekly na talaga ang episode drops. So it has that kind of ano lagi lahi ang feeling sa weekly versus kanang bingeable nga program.
yeah.
But nakoy tiny
And-
tiny segue or like what do you think about there's a rumor going around na WB Discovery wants to remove the HBO name from HBO Max. Like they're gonna call it WB Max or something. Like do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know. I think I read that article before, but I'm indifferent to the change. I don't think there's a lot of impact when you change that thing because the subscribers are subscribers. They're already into the platform now, and the most important thing for me probably is like the content. So if WB Max changes, I guess as long as the content remains the same,
Yeah,
I don't
for
see
me
any
it's
problem
like
with that.
the Discovery people, like, wala may brand recognition sa HBO. HBO is synonymous with The
Yeah.
Sopranos, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Westworld.
R.I.P..
Like, you don't think na HBO is the, like, draw. Instead, you're just gonna go vague na WB lang in yung thing. And then, like, murag, that's kind of not recognizing your brand. I'm sure the quality is still gonna be there, but losing the HBO is kind of murag. I think it's a big mistake for me if
Yeah.
mawang HBO. But I guess when it comes to movies, HBO is still kind of like murag meh lang iyang status when it comes to films. But when it comes to series, like HBO is top tier na murag Netflix can only hope to achieve HBO
Yeah.
status. For every Stranger Things nimo, like what else is like mga HBO level nga prestige
There's a
TV
lot,
ang
man. There's
Netflix.
Sopranos. You got the
House-
leftovers. You
Yeah.
get The Wire. You get I don't know. Maybe Atlanta is there at some point, or maybe it wasn't Disney Plus. I don't know.
Atlanta
Oh
is
yeah,
on Disney
Atlanta's on.
Plus.
There's a lot of good shit on HBO, man, and that's the reason why I haven't used Netflix in a long time now. Like I did, yeah. The only reason why I go to Netflix is because of the 1899 show that we talked about, and they canceled it.
It got
Yeah, and it
canceled?
hurt me, man. It hurt me. A lot of people don't watch good TV like that, so it was painful,
Oh
man.
yeah, like yeah, it's like sometimes it just hurts like more daghan kayo sa lagi cancel na shows like it wasn't HBO but I recently got into this series called Reboot na siya sa Disney Plus na it's about them rebooting like a made up show and then I'm like oh lingawan eh like nice kayo ang family dynamics niya and it's from the guy who made Modern Family and they canceled it and I was
Really?
like,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, it's like so many good shows. Yeah, so many good shows are getting canceled because, according to Netflix or like the heads of WB, like it's not bringing
Yeah.
in the numbers. So like whatever is gonna maybe it's critically well received and a lot of people like it online. It doesn't really mean that it's succeeding
I
numbers.
really hate boomers
So,
like
it's more
handling
of
everything with big.
yeah, they're all like like you hate it when those people are in charge because they're only looking at like numbers. So the thing is, naman power ang television to like inform like ano uh, I wanna say like mass audience intelligence, but if you keep pandering to them, if you keep just giving them mga these brain dead shows like Two Broke
Hey,
Girls,
hey, hey!
I'm like,
do not.
like, oh, you
do
like
not
that show?
I do not agree with this slander. It's fun. I mean, there are different audiences in the world, which I understand, but
Yeah.
canceling a show is something that takes a lot of like it hurts a lot of people, but for XX and the big guys on the chairs, kay, it's just one word for them. And we've invested so much with these
Yeah.
characters in the show, and then to cancel it like that, that's why I hated what they did with the Midnight Club. I really wanted more of that, and it was the Midnight
Oh, man,
Club.
the
Mike Flanagan one.
Ah.
I know we talked about it, and you hated it. You don't like it that much, but I like character
I
study.
don't like Mike Flanagan.
Dude, I really love character study shows that I can hear you snorting there. But
I'm sorry.
like Netflix needs more shows
Keep
that
going.
do that, and canceling Mindhunter, 1899, the shows that are actually like investing a lot of time with character arcs, they just pull the plug and then not gonna talk about it again. I hate it.
They're canceling shows. Yeah, back to The Last of Us. Um, it got approved pa for like
Yes.
season 2 and gi-confirm na ni Druckmann and ni well, if Druckmann is Cuckman, what's Mason? Like does he have
Cock Mason,
something?
probably. And the best thing about this revival of the Last of Us franchise is that the online discourse has returned, and yeah, and whenever I hear
But-
shit like that again to Twitter, and I'm like, oh no, imagine what Last of Us Part 2 is gonna be.
Yeah, and gi-confirm na nila na ang Last of Us Part 2 is going to be split into multiple
Which
seasons.
is great.
Like they don't know how they're gonna do it yet, but I'm gonna guess na we're gonna get the flashbacks in season 2 and we're gonna contextualize Abby's journey and then like ang events na of Seattle are gonna be season 3 where Ellie will be like going to Seattle.
Yeah, probably. There's gonna be.
Realistic,
Yeah, I think it's gonna end with a certain character death in season 2, probably. Or it ends midway.
Yeah, that's like
I don't know, probably.
I don't think it's a really big like moment. It's kind of like in Game of Thrones where the Red Wedding happens in the middle of the book, but they turned that into the season finale instead. So I'm like, okay, I'm guessing like we're speculating na the big death happens at the end of season 2 and season 2 is just going to build up all of the immediate aftermath of season
Mm-hmm.
1. So like we'll get what happens with Abby's like more like backstory. We'll get the entire story niya, and then we're gonna watch Joel trying to cope with his lying to Ellie about like what happened with the
Yeah, that makes
Fireflies.
sense.
And then and then mag ano na, like and then we get to the end
Yeah.
na. Or maybe they can push that to the ano, maybe the end could be Joel and Ellie's falling out na murag Ellie figures out kay in part 2 when the game starts, Ellie hasn't been talking to Joel because she discovered that Joel lied to her. So, like, we're like, okay, maybe that could be the falling out. Okay, that's a big character moment sa gihapon. But, you could say na, oh yeah, it's more impactful if we end the season along with the major character death. That's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? It's still a lot of time. We still get like a year before we get our hands on it. So
I was honestly worried about Bella Ramsey being too old, too young, but she's already Ellie's age in part 2 na ano, Ellie was 19 in part 2 and Bella Ramsey is
yeah,
currently 19
she's
years
really
old.
good as Ellie.
Yeah. But
She's really good as Ellie.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay, she looks kind of, I guess she's just really short and like or she looks like a child lang when I look at her 2023 photos, but I'm pretty sure she'll do
Yeah.
fine.
She's been on some.
Yeah. What did you think
Yeah,
of her? What did you think
Bella
of
Ramsey
Bella
is really
Ramsey
good.
Ellie?
Like, the David episode really sold me on her character. That she can actually pull off the part 2 Ellie if she wanted to. Like, I want the killer Ellie. I want the vengeful side of her with that kind of vibe, and she does it so well. I have
Yeah.
faith in
I
her
like,
actually.
yeah. Ano naman, like, I think the important part of Ellie is that she's kind of a, she's kind of a dirty mouthed na girl, but at the same time, like, people like showing Ellie things because she's always easily amazed. Like everything is so fucking cool to her, and that's why, like, she gets brought to the mall. She gets brought like to the museum in part 2, and then she's always happy to like discover things. So that's modo na giingon nila Neil Druckmann is what they like about Ellie as a character, and you can see that in Bella Ramsey na murag when she's interested, she's interested. Did you see any of the discourse when Ramsey was cast?
Yes, there's a lot of discourse, and I didn't actually read all of it. Kay, mostly it's all
Why
misogynistic.
would you read it?
Yeah, mga it's all like I don't know, mga so many gamers do like I hate gamers yun. And it reminded me so much of The Last of Us Part 2 again. If that's the discourse happening
yeah.
with Part 1 palang gani, when there's mild, those are mild things that a regular gamer can see, and Part 2 has everything. I couldn't imagine how this blows up on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm just ano lang like just the free folk energy lang na murag. It really is just people milking for easy likes na like sometimes they'll just post like example no kind of House of the Dragon, something will happen every week and then they'll have a topic for it. And then what they'll do is like they'll just say, remember when Danny burned the city for no reason? I hate D&D, and then they'd still get like 9,000 likes, and I'm just like, dude, nobody's talking about that. Like,
Yeah.
murag, why are you being such a fucking loser right now? Na, mo na yang, this is the cool thing we're talking about. Why are you inviting that energy here? And like, that's probably gonna happen with season 2 na lang sad. Like, they're just gonna wait for a terrible decision, and like these mga free folk types, these mga outrage farmers, they wait for stupid things and they latch onto it like a cordyceps, if you would.
Wow,
Ano,
that's an interesting
yeah.
metaphor you got there, or analogy. Wow.
It's like magawas na ang mushroom sa ilang mouth. Like, murag, oh my god, D&D is terrible. Oh, why did like katong the queen that never was go through the floor and then kill all those innocent people? Like kind of, it's so kind of brain dead. Na like, why do you hate these people? And then they'll look for people who like they'll look for the director of the episode and then they'll name them and harass that person. They'll be like, oh, like person A wrote this episode. Oh, let's not forget she's the new D&D now. Oh, I hate her. And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
It's bad
like,
that it has to come to that, right?
gross.
And
Yeah.
that same scenario happened with the Witcher Netflix series. If we're gonna talk about
Oh,
it,
si Lauren Hisrich.
with Lauren Hisrich, she stopped talking right now. She stopped tweeting after after because she keeps responding to the trolls on the internet, and I get it. I get the hate. I get the fans. They're disappointed in the way she adapts the books from the show. I get it, but it came to the point where there's a lot of misogynistic comments now and death threats that are not that should not be happening. Why do you have to go to that? So that's why naluoy ko niya when she decided to
by
shut up na lang.
yeah. And what's worse pa jud is like say Henry Cavill himself is showing like he didn't like what went down with The Witcher, and then since Cavill is kind of like the internet's literally me, namurag he's one of the avatars of the like the Sigma males. They're like, oh no, you hurt our king, like how dare you, woman, that you hate it, and then they use it as an excuse to be terrible to her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just leave the person alone if you don't like the show. Like, if it's gonna be terrible, then it's just gonna bomb. You don't have to, you don't have to keep showing up and harassing people who are just trying to do their jobs.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel sad for
maluoy lang
her,
ko.
Gibito. Like she
Yeah.
stopped interacting with anyone on Twitter now.
Yeah. And like I can just imagine like unsa na ka how that must look in her background check. Like si si Benioff and Weiss Gane right now are kind of like, I'm pretty sure they haven't been able to shake off the Game of Thrones na na toxicity. So like it's gonna bleed over to unsa nga rin ang show nila na padung kanang
The three-body
Third Eye
problem.
Blind.
Fuck you. The three-body problem. It's the three-body. I really hope they they pull it off. It's a sci-fi adaptation of a great book, so I guess that could work. But moving on from The Last of Us, we know that it's a really good show and it complements well with the video game. What else did we miss out on?
What's your favorite episode?
Oh, my favorite episode probably was the David one, maybe.
Oh man, like they made him extra creepy, no? Like
Yeah,
he
but I
was,
really
like, a
love
school teacher.
I really love how they changed the perspective from Joel to Ellie now, and they really did it well in the game, sad, and in the show. Okay, you can actually tell that Ellie is helpless, but she tries to do her best to like shake out of this terrible situation. It's great. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I love I'm very partial to the Henry and Sam one where they made Sam. Sam is the younger one, no?
Yeah,
They made Sam deaf.
Deaf. That's also good.
Yeah, siya, like nag-sound of metal siya ba? And then like like nag-revisit ko sa katong how Sam dies in the game and then versus the show, and it's a lot warmer in the show because like we see Ellie try to save him and then like si Sam is like, just will you stay awake with me, and I'm like, oh my god, like nagkahilakot kayo
Yeah.
na just watching that shit.
It's sad, bitaw. Grim jud kayo do, and that's why I can't. I played The Last of Us Part 2 in the middle of the pandemic. So when I finished that game, gabi ka depressing. Like, no, everything's so bleak now. Like, I don't know, not like hadlok na ko magawas. I'm afraid that somebody will get infected diri sa balay. So it's not a
like-
perfect game.
It's like you go out into the streets katong 2020 times and it's just as blank as the streets like when you play Last of Us. I'm like, what are
And the themes of like cycle of vengeance and shit, I can't handle that.
Yeah. Oh man, I was just like, I remembered on a roller coaster jud ko because like I didn't hate Abby jud like murag I think I always separate the emotions I have when it comes to a story. Like I think it's because it's thanks to Black Mirror. Kanang when before watching Black Mirror, I was super invested in characters, and I would get sad when they're sad, and then I take it personally sometimes. Kung
Yeah.
like horrible things happen, but like after Black Mirror, I was just like when I'm in the story, I'm in the story, but outside of it, like it's just a story. It doesn't piss me off or anything. So, like, I didn't get the hate for Abby. I was just like constantly defending the character, and we're like, this is the point of the character. You're supposed to hate her, and then blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like,
Gamers can't understand nuance, Bayani. They only know how to open boobs and shoot people in the head. That's what they do.
yeah, and they have like the most dumbass takes about where the game should have like maybe we should get a prequel where we get to watch Joel and Tommy like just be hunters and like with all the terrible shit they did like in the middle of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude,
It's
like,
all shits and giggles for them. If they write part 3, it will bomb so hard, and I would review bombed it, kid. It's terrible to go on that. It has to come this way. I really appreciate Last of Us 2 because it shows something different in a video game medium. I made a review
when it
about
comes to a
it.
sequel.
Yeah, I reviewed it on Facebook, and then I think a lot of people actually commented. Yeah, I think it was Ernest Buzon commenting like, "How much did they pay you,
Yeah.
third?" And I'm like, but it was really good. I like movies.
What did
What?
Ernest think one day of it? What is your crowd of friends like the gamers and bonus? What did they think of Last of Us?
I don't know. I didn't really get to talk in depth about that, but Ernest has his take, but I don't know if I forgot most of it. I'm not gonna talk about it here. Maybe when he comes back as a guest, probably.
I have my cousin who is just like the Morag. He's my template for all the generic Filipino things. Like he likes all the current animes. He likes One Piece. He likes kind of Genshin Impact. He likes Slam Dunk, and like he plays all the AAA games that come out. And he
Oh,
also
alright.
was like, yeah, and he was like, ang pangit-pangit pala ng Last of Us Part 2. Hindi ko nagustuhan. Namatay si Joel. And it was like, Morag, oh, you didn't get it.
Wow.
I feel bad
But-
for you.
But we don't have to treat them like that. But the idea man good kay. It's sad that a lot of people can't get it, ba? It's not.
Yeah.
It's sad that it has to come that way. Nga. It has to be something that we should discuss on, because what I think about The Last of Us is it's a great litmus test for feelings, for empathy, for emotions,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the people who saw the show, part 1, the non-gamers, are actually getting the cues right. Like, they know the story, that it should go this way. They feel conflicted with Joel's trolley problem at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And it has the same reactions that we had when we played the game for the first time. So with part 2 coming out, I really want to know how they do that.
Yeah. It's gonna be like Morag. Si Druckmann really goes crazy on the Morag empathy and unsa na like crawling into the skin of the person you hate. I'm like Morag. Oh my god! I wonder if they're able to like replicate the same kind of immersion that a game would have to like a series. But I'm excited, like, because see, Craig Mazin has respect manjod for the source material, unlike other kind of mga games turned movies. Like, Uncharted didn't have like that much. With Naughty Dog, it's kind of just like aesthetically long. It's just trying to follow Nathan Drake adventures, but
Yeah,
like
it's not
it-
good.
Yeah, kind of Tomb Raider siguro. It's like more like, well, maybe because like it doesn't really have like as extensive of a lore as Last of Us does. Like more like,
No, I think it just depends on what angle are you trying to put the franchise, how you're gonna transform it to to a movie, because we all know that Tomb Raider and Uncharted are action games, action set pieces. So the thing that you want to focus on is always the action. So I think that's what they banked on, and it failed because it's just too much action, less
Yeah.
on. It could have been a great way to to put more personality and depth into their characters, but they can't because it's all action.
Yeah. And ano naman
And
sa,
The Last
I
of Us
feel
did
like
it well.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of a stepping backwards mana because Tomb Raider and Uncharted are kind of inspired by movies mana sila. They're Indiana Jones movies. They're those adventure treasure hunting naghihimo nila game. So to turn them back into movies is like morag it's gonna be hard to make it feel fresh. So like you know, uh, but The Last of Us, lahi man siya, it wasn't adapting any movies. It was trying to elevate the zombie shooter genre. So when they adapt it, like lahi isa ang feeling niya. But you know, that's just my kanang plebeian take. Na I don't create video games.
That's a good shit, dude. Like, it's a great time to subscribe to HBO Go, guys. If you are still listening,
Yeah.
it's like 100 pesos, 119.
Yeah, something close to that. And
Yeah.
arte lang sila when it comes to device sharing, but the content is really really good. When it comes to HBO, it's not complete. Like there are some HBO shows that aren't available sa HBO Go, but you got all the main Game of Thrones. You got House of the Dragon. So how much is HBO paying us for this? This is.
I don't know.
Are-
I hope they're paying us for this
Are
shit.
we gonna get free subscription moving forward? Like, thank you. You got
3 months.
You got one more subscriber thanks to us, HBO.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Um,
But moving on,
Yes.
what else did we miss
uh,
from last year, Bayani?
they're opening doors and closing. Speaking of closing doors, Suzume no Tojimari.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Okay. So Suzume no Tojimari is from Makoto Shinkai, the current the anime it boy of behind. Yeah, it's like he doesn't make series, he makes movies na theatrically released in the Philippines ang iyang mga anime movies. That's how hype they are. So, ang iyang first like big hype movie was Your Name or Kimi no Nawa, and it was followed up by katong Weathering with You, and now ninggawas ang Suzume no Tojimari or Suzume is closing up. That's the that's the
Yeah.
translation.
Just say Suzume. I don't want to say the long name.
Yeah, but-
Just say Suzume.
I'm sorry because I know manggod like Haruhe Suzumiya man ako like I love that
Oh,
anime.
God.
So like okay, so Suzume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ikaw ba, kamusta man? Like because funnily enough we were watching it at the same time na
Yeah, I was like, I went home, I tweeted about it. I was thinking what to tweet, and then you came like a bit later saying something about Suzume, and I what? We saw the same movie at the same time?
yeah. Honestly, like I liked it. I liked it more than Weathering with You.
Yeah, the stakes are actually like it felt real. The stakes were real. Unlike in Weathering with You, and like I can't take this fucking flood seriously when we're so focused on these two star-crossed lovers that I don't know, are they even meant for each other? Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But in Suzume, it has, I tweeted about it that it has more maturity compared to Weathering
Yeah.
with You,
It's
and concepts
yeah,
are great.
interesting ang iyang theme of like mga abandoned places. Like at some point, I'm starting to think
Yeah.
that it's all a big propaganda machine for Japan right now. Okay, the plot is kind of like the theme niya about abandoned places and people saying goodbye to those places is the same as the Netflix anime movie na Drifting Away, or Drifting Home.
I have no idea what that is.
Sensei mo ang trailer like drifting
Oh.
home is like these kids are stuck on this like old building apartment where they used to live, and then it's like lost at sea, and then the themes niya of abandoned places and the spirits or the energy of the people who used to live there are still alive and present in the places are like parehas siya sa Suzume kay murag what happens in the story is that Suzume ends up trying to her job becomes i-close niya ang kaning mga mystical gates where these giant Shaihulud worms come out. and it's because and they
Yeah.
manifest in places that are abandoned na mga places that used to have life and then wala na, either because of like maybe natural disaster like tsunami, or kanang ano lang, the current thing that's coming out na the aging population of Japan, and then everyone is moving to the city now. So there are just multiple abandoned mga
Yeah.
villages na lang where people used to live.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. That's also interesting, right? That it's Shinkai's way of like putting awareness to the
Yeah.
Gen Z,
Na
to
siya
the
eh,
younger
ano
people
ba eh?
that, hey, guys, there's a lot of abandoned places now. We need to
Na
fix
siya eh,
this.
fetish for kanang mga natural disasters. Like your name was
Yeah.
like a giant meteor, and then Weathering with You was like na flood ang Tokyo, and then this one was like, oh, it's a tsunami, and then there was like an uzuma.
Yeah, he really hates like he loves like blowing things up good. So it's I think he has the like he loves putting disasters in the middle of a story about boy meets
Yeah.
girl, and it adds like what do you call it, an antagonistic force to it, but I mean it's just a love story at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
okay,
That was kind of the most unrealistic thing about Suzume lang. Like, more, besides the dude got turned into a chair. Like,
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that, man. Like it's something that only you can imagine in anime again. Like you can't see a dude turning into a chair and then running off a highway. I don't know.
It was like they
That's
gave
unique.
it so much personality. Like, just the way the chair falls over when it means that si Sota is asleep. I'm like, that's fucking genius. That's like,
Yeah.
katong nahoga katong oranges, and then they had to like, quick, you have to like net the oranges, and then paglingi isa katong girl, like nahog
Yeah.
lang ang chair to be like, so it won't be suspicious.
Yeah, that was well animated. That was super well animated. The way they put that cloth and then the oranges are like actually coming together. It's so well animated. Everything in that movie is well animated.
Ano siya, like trademark Makoto Shinkai na good animation, but kato lagi, it was kind of, even si Tiny also felt that the love story is kind of forced, and and in today's 2020's climate, like si Sota is a college student, and then like high school rabi atong si Suzume, but like what relationship already? Like she barely knows him, but she was like,
Yeah.
the angle becomes that because she loves him, she has to save him. But I'm like, me and Tiny discussed parag, maybe it would be stronger lang if like it was her fuck up, that it was her fault he got turned into a chair. That should be her motivation to just do what's right. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that could have
yeah.
been.
And then like,
it,
you
right?
know, just tease the romance.
But
at the
I
end.
get-
But if that becomes the core thing, I'm like, more like, it's not realistic because he's a chair for most of it, and like, morag, it's kind of naluoy na lang ko sa girl, like, morag, you're really gonna make her fall in love with the chair, and then she's like trying to molest the chair, like, morag, I heard that if you make out with a boy, he wakes up, and then si Sota wakes up because she was like kissing the chair. I was like, okay, this is some like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening there when she sat on the chair, when she
Yeah,
stepped on the chair. So it works, I guess. I think that's Shinkai's way of like adding more energy to the Gen Z, to the younger people, that you need to make babies. You need to fall in love again. You need
It's all
to
propaganda.
at some point
It's
in
like
your
si
life.
Shinkai is hired by.
Yeah, it's all propaganda.
The prime minister of they have a prime minister, the emperor.
Yeah.
The prime minister of Japan is like.
I don't know,
asking Shinkai na,
yeah.
Please, Shinkai-san, just we need more people to move to abandoned place
Yes.
and make babies, make Japanese children, please. And then
Yeah.
Makoto Shinkai is just like.
It's all propaganda. Even Weathering with You, nobody cares if there's a flood going. Just do it. Go for the love of your life. Who cares if the world is ending? Just please save our dwindling
Did you see-
birth rate, please.
Did you
That's
see the
it.
4chan
That's all it
names of
takes.
Shinzo Abe before he got like like murag, hello, I'm Shinzo Abe. I really love
After-
making Japanese babies with my Japanese wife. And then the next post is like he's holding a gun na,
I think I've seen that.
I'm not asking anymore. Have sex.
Have sex. Yeah. But yeah, like Shinkai is a propaganda machine. That's how it is. Everyone, it doesn't have to be a romance story, but it is because everyone needs to have babies. You can fall in love, meet someone at the end, and then have a natural disaster in between, and then meet again at the last second of the movie. That's how it works.
Fan theory about how he came up with the chair idea, like, like I'm thinking si Makoto Shinkai was about to have sex with a girl, and then he said, "Sit on my face," and then he went, "Wait, I have to write that down." Like,
what? That is not a fan theory. That is a deranged
that's like he
thought.
asked the lady
I
to
don't
sit
know.
on his face, and he immediately thought, "I should write this down." Guy turns into a chair, and then, like, we're like, "That's my next movie. I have it now."
Yeah, and
We can just cut that joke if you didn't like it.
as I was.
Shinkai Sensei would love
The
it.
thing I like
He'd
about-
be like, that was totally what I was thinking about. Okay, go on.
What I actually enjoyed about this one as well is that it's a road trip movie.
It's Japanese
I was not expecting that it's gonna take place.
It's a Japanese tourism movie.
Hmm?
Na murag, oh, we'll ride the boat going to this
Yeah.
island. Oh, this is the hot spring island. And then murag,
And we
oh
missed
no,
Mount Fuji.
no.
Uh-oh.
The train is so fast. How is the train so efficient?
It is propaganda, man. Like, I can't believe it. And what else? I like the way they I think I like the way they put the music in. It's not just Radwimps cutting in between. Like, I was actually waiting for someone to sing when there's a dramatic event going. But no.
See Glasses Kuya, oh my god, and he has
Yeah.
like a thing for he plays pop songs na corny and then he's like singing along to it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I want that playlist. Like, where do I
Yeah.
find that?
I
Maybe
was-
it's on
I was
Spotify
like
somewhere.
on the way back, I was searching for like Suzume playlist, and then all of it was just the orchestra stuff, and I was like, "Where's the Glasses guys playlist? I need to listen to it." Like,
Yeah. Where's the Japanese pop songs? I need that.
and then
And it's surprisingly interesting that the Radwimps music was played at the end of the movie when the credits
what
rolled.
song?
I don't know. It's usually in a Shinkai movie. There's Radwimps. It's a Japanese band that sang their iconic
Madako no
songs.
Sakai wa-
Yeah.
those guys.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it's never played in Suzume. There's no lyrical music that you hear when there's a dramatic thing going on. It's all pop songs. And it's all like near automata music, like there's an orchestra playing when you close the
Okay.
door. So the emotional depth that I was expecting was I can only cry when there's Radwimps playing, but I guess I still cried because the ending scene where she finally meets the girl at the dream world at the I think that was that hit me.
man. That's
That
the part
hit
where you
me
cried?
a lot. Yeah, because there's loss there, and I get lost. I understand what it feels to be like alone.
I guess
something like that.
for me the most emotional like high point was when she meets her baby self, and then you watch the baby like see tiny Suzume is like.
That's what I
Oh,
meant.
I thought you said when kanang si Sota turned into a dude, and then like we're like.
No, that was the emotional point when she finally met the baby.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it, so if ever somebody hasn't
shit.
seen it yet. But
Oh well, don't worry. We won't put it in the title as per your friend. Like, because we're hiding it.
okay, and what else?
How long is it still going on sa Cebu?
I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna end next week with like Suzume is a great show, but there's not a lot of anime people watching it. I saw the last full show, and it's like
Pila ka
5 or
mga
10
tao.
people watching.
I like.
I'm like the only person below.
We were like, yeah, we watched it SM here, and siguro there were like mga 6 or 8 people lang in the theater, but I was like, that the people in the theater are like mga anime enthusiasts because they're like kiligon sila at all the right moments, and I'm like, oh shit.
I've never what you call kilig. Like I cannot feel the kilig between them. Like weird thing lang relationship together, but I guess it grew. Like, it's more of a protective relationship that they had. I guess.
Instant ano man.
But I never.
Like maybe because Tiny is partial man to those long-haired kanang bishonen types, so like instant guapo man, and like you can understand why she wants to save the chair because like she knows the guapo ang chair. Like
Yeah,
it's like if Sisota kind of looked like me and then I turned into a chair, I'm pretty sure Suzume would be like, "Bye, stranger," and I was like, "Wait, Suzume, I'm a chair."
You'd be a monoblock probably. You'd be like a white monoblock chair with like almost broken armrests.
And it's
I don't know,
see,
probably.
Suzume will be like Morag if Suzume wanted to save me, but she knew that it was like a weeb that was like in the chair, she'd be like, "This is my friend." No, and then if gihimo ko kanang keystone, she'll be like, "I guess my friend sacrificed themselves. I'll remember him forever." Like, like why do I need to save him?
good
He's
luck.
old and like he's a college student.
But overall, bitaw, it's way better than Weathering with You for me
But
because I can actually feel the stakes. Like I can't imagine like a lot of people would die with the earthquake like that, and it's more mature. There's like actual a plot going. Not unlike Weathering with You, like oh no, why are we talking about weather gods now? Why are we in Cloud City, and something like that. So that's different. And Shinkai has learned to do good pacing now. I think he read a lot of feedback from Weathering with You that shit's not gonna go. Shit's going all over the place in that movie.
yeah, I was.
But he just.
What?
I was saying this one because he just can't live up to the Your Name success. Like he's still chasing that high. Like Your Name is his best work
I think
for me.
he'll get there.
Like it has.
like Murag.
Yeah, I
must
hope so.
prefer, like for example, I like all the side characters in Suzume. Like I can't name any of the side characters. Like I can't remember that much in Your Name. Kung kinsay naa dito. Like I just know that it's Taki and si what's her name? Like the girl. Yeah, si Mizuha and Taki. Like Murag. I know that they're the same, and then there's probably an old person, like someone has a granny, and like, but I don't really remember them that much. But maybe like I don't know. Let's give Suzume some time. Like we'll see, because I remember like a lot of the characters. Like the Japayuki lady is like and then she has her kids, and then.
Did you just say
Why are those
Japayuki?
exclusively Filipino ba ang Japayuki? Kay Morag.
Yeah, I think it's a slur.
Oh, sorry.
I think it's
Because
a
she was
slur.
like a comfort person. She was like a
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a bartender, man.
no,
Who
like
knows?
mura siya.
We
I
can't
don't
assume
know if
that.
they use the term GRO, but I think that's what GROs do. Like they just provide company for patrons.
Yeah, but wait. Yes, okay.
Yeah, and like the aunt is there, and then it's like more emotional ang iyang journey because like she's essentially like the mom for like kitsa ganito si Allison Jones from Megan, or she's like I have to take care of you now, and like there's that character, and then she's angry, like now she resentment because she lost her 30s or something because she had to take care of the child, and she's like I'm in my 40s and
Yeah,
who's
it's
gonna marry
nice,
me
bitaw.
now, and I'm like ate no.
Yeah, she's kind of hot though.
I
not
thought
gonna
she was
lie.
gonna end up with glasses guy. I thought she was gonna say hey.
Yeah, I was. That's the thing that I was imagining. But I think they respect the boundaries there. Like, it's good that Shinkai stopped there and then the aunt goes
Yeah.
back to the guy
It's
he
weird
met in the
na-
office.
Yeah,
That's
it would
actually
be
good.
weird for Suzume and her aunt to be dating like those best friends na kanang like, hey, my boyfriend's best friends with your boyfriend. I'm like, ugh, it's weird.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
ngayon, and he smokes, and then there's like a hint of going there sa aunt,
Oh
and then
yeah.
okay,
Fuck.
wow.
It's like
Yeah.
I really liked it. Like, and then they were able to like regroup and like on credits where she was meeting everyone else again, and then like with her aunt this time.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Yeah. Like the people you meet along, it's Suzume as the friends you meet along the way. That is it.
The real
It's one of the
the
animes
real
of all
Suzume is the
time.
friends we made along the way.
It's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's a good movie. I want to rewatch it to get like
Yeah.
to appreciate the details because there's a lot
There's
of
another
details
shot of
there.
that sliding door opening that's very that's very sana your name. Di ba daghan man ang shots of katong door opening? I'm like, oh okay. They did one because I was like, oh I noticed that. Like that's a Makoto Shinkai shot. But and like
And we're not gonna see it probably next week because the theaters are packed with
oh
more shit
damn
with Shazam, with and something we forgot to talk about is like John Wick
Not-
4, R.I.P. to the man himself,
I'm sad
Lance
that,
Reddick.
like Lance Reddick is gone.
Yeah.
Like murag, but I haven't seen a John Wick since the first
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding
I'm
me?
just like
How do you not watch a movie made by a guy named Chad Bayani?
I know that they're just action movies, and then each entry is kind of they're like smaller scale Mission Impossible movies where Keanu Reeves has to do an action thing, and then they give him like a flimsy like revenge thing to do, and then he's like, "Now you've done it," and then like
Yeah, but
and then
I like it. I like it.
Okay,
It's like a video game. It's like a video game for me. You face this
Are you
boss,
gonna-
kill this boss. Face
yeah,
this boss,
the next boss
kill
is
this
gonna
boss.
be, I think, another blind na Donnie and then si Pennywise. He's one of the assassin dudes.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's an ensemble of like the greatest action characters
Okay.
in there's also the samurai guy from Westworld.
Si Scorpion.
I don't know. Yeah, in Mr. Typecast, he's always
the
there. He's always
samurai.
the samurai in every movie. But good for him. He's getting more roles.
Si Silence lagi. I mean, si Quiet from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna miss. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Lance Reddick. Like when I heard his death, it was like 4 in the morning. Like
Yeah,
that was
my
that hit
weekend.
me. He's gone. Okay, yeah, and he's a big character in all the games that I
Destiny?
love with Horizon, right? His Silence and Destiny. He was an important character. He's Zavala, and
Yeah.
it's sad to see him go. Like, what's Bungie gonna do now? Recast him with Pedro
I'm thinking if
Pascal
they
as
recast him,
voice?
they could take Keith David, katong si Leroy from Community or Elroy. Yeah, murag,
Oh yeah,
he
that
has the-
works.
He has a
Yeah,
commanding
he
voice,
does have the
and then
same-
it's very silky voice, and then maybe they could
Mm.
just use the character model Ragi Hapon ni Lance Reddick. That's just my
Yeah, bitaw. But it's gonna cause a lot of flack. Kay recasting is a very sensitive
yeah,
topic
but-
when it comes to
Yeah,
dead
but for
person.
me, it's
dead
like more
person
like, what
syndrome.
would you have them do? Like more like he died. But it's like I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's sad.
So this week, are you gonna John Wick?
Yep,
are you
this
gonna
week,
watch?
John Wick, and we're gonna talk about action movies next week, and probably video
Why
games.
you have
So
to-
something that we.
you
Oh,
have-
next
what?
week is Resident Evil 4 remake.
Oh no, it's coming out. I downloaded the demo.
Yes,
I downloaded
Yeah, you should
it,
play
and
the
I haven't
demo.
tried it yet.
Play
but
it.
it's like
play it.
I've just been watching all the really lame clips of Leon Kennedy. I'm just like, what the fuck is this Resident Evil? And then
Yeah, he's a B movie character who does one-liners. You'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Do I have to invest? But you know me, I'm like, I always have a FOMO fear, so I'm like, murag, fine, I'll play the demo, and then I'll probably wait for my cousin to bully me into playing Resident Evil 4, or I don't
Yeah, you should try that.
know. Yeah, but we,
See,
you didn't
That's all.
want to talk about Shazam's.
no superhero movies on our first episode on our third season.
But
And
we're-
if you guys are still listening, we have seasons, by the way. So
Yes.
third season, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's how we separate the hiatus from the,
Yeah.
from the old seasons.
Yeah, I
there's
think
not,
it
there's
makes
not much
sense.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot of difference, but there's a color change in
Yeah.
between.
We need
Well, you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, we need a break to catch up with the. I don't know. I was like able to watch like The Whale. I watched Tar. I watched Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
All the shit that I wanted to catch up on, but there's still
Yeah.
some that I
I
haven't.
got a lot of
watched
things
yet.
to catch up on. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
a lot of Oscar movies that are
Yeah.
something that we should watch,
But
right?
Shazam, jud ba? Kanang Shazam, kanang give it a chance.
No more. No more
No,
Shazam.
please, 30, please. Please.
That's it for episode.
I'm begging
51.
I thank you. Honestly, like, I realized that I liked it so much because it's just been shitty superhero movie after shitty superhero movie. It's been Black Adam, then Love and Thunder, and then like Wakanda Forever was fine, but like Quantumania. Quantumania was so disappointing for me. It was so basic, but.
I haven't even seen it
Yeah,
yet.
Shazam, I was so ready for it to be terrible. I was like, murag, I was just like, I remember how deep my heart was at the beginning of the movie, and then by the end of it, I was just like, wow, that was pretty good. Like, the trailers did such a bad job picking the most basic jokes and then just putting them in the trailer, but the movie is actually kind of, I think it got me excited for DC again, and like. Maybe you should check it out. I think if you didn't watch Quantumania, check out Shazam na lang, and then you tell me how you feel afterwards.
All right.
Yeah, but you're still just gonna watch John
You-
Wick, you asshole.
You're not selling me. It's not selling you. It's not selling enough.
Fuck
but
you, man.
all right.
Like, watch
I
it.
will consider that one. I will watch that when it comes out on HBO Go.
Oh, boo. It's a cinematic experience. Like, more like, it was like, wow, na-excite ko for superheroes, like, a little again. I was like, wow, this...
A little
I
again.
felt something. Like, by see...
The burnout is real,
like,
Bayani.
people are simping for Mary Marvel right now. Katong si, like, basta si...
I know. She's the hot girl there.
Yeah, and then it's like there's a scene there where she's in her superhero outfit and she's hungover, so she's like wearing huge glasses. I'm like, I love it. And like, the mom has a nightgown. She has a nightgown scene, and it's crazy. She's a crazy Salma Hayek hot. Like, what the fuck is this doing in this kids movie? But like, I don't know. I'm not complaining. It was pretty cool. But yeah.
I will see to that.
Consider. Please, consider. I'm just like Adam Driver in Last Jedi. Just like, please. No, you're still holding on. Don't let go. Yeah. Oh, that was.
But yeah,
we're back.
that was our time.
Yeah, that was our time.
Yeah.
We're back. So, we'll see you guys again next week, hopefully. And then mag-storya make John Wick,
Yes.
I think. And go Resident Evil
maybe.
again. I think Thirdy really wants to gush about Resident Evil. So like, we're gonna go that way. Yeah. So thanks for listening, guys. Thirds, salamat. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2023, and what surprises are in store for us, no?
Yeah. Sige.
Do we have like a calamity going?
Oh my
Do we have a door to close? I don't know.
There's gonna
Who
be
knows?
a Shai Hulud in the sky at some point. And it's all
Yeah.
because of a,
So that's it, guys.
It's all because of a shitty ass cat.
Everyone who listens to the podcast can see the Shai Hulud in the sky.
Yeah. Sige, bye. Yeah. Thanks.
Sige, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. This has been episode 51, and bye-bye.